Hi, this is Stephen Beschloss with America, America.
And I'm Mark Jacob with the Stop the Presses newsletter.
And this is On Target. This week, we're going to focus on a story from Bloomberg, which is focused on the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and specifically the intrusions of said bureau by Elon Musk and his Doge henchmen over the last week. It's a very detailed story, and we're going to talk about some of the ways in which it details sort of the unfolding of their violations. I would say clearly their criminality, and it's one of, as we've seen, a number of different departments within the government, units within the government that it's doing the same thing. And this is one that people might miss a little bit because the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, kind of goes a bit under the radar. But since it's been around, it has given back to consumers $21 billion. Its annual budget is less than $1 billion. And it supervises people, entities like payday lenders and debt collectors and consumer credit reporting companies and banks and payment processors and others that haven't been monitored. In short, it's a bureau that is trying to limit corruption and crime, and this is one of those that this bunch wants to get rid of. In fact, they have done so. I'm going to sort of say more about the detail of that, but I want you to jump in, Mark.
Yeah, the real big point here is that this is not a big cost savings. This is not why they're in here. The Elon Musk and his merry band of pranksters, they seem to be just going through all this information. The good thing about the Bloomberg story is at first it points out that at first they said they'd have read access to information, which is bad enough. But now that they have administrative access. So they're lying to us about that. This
Right,
idea that, well, we're going to make government more transparent is baloney. They're not. They're operating in secret and lying to us.
right.
And Elon Musk is getting into this payment processing business. He wants to do that stuff. So
Yeah,
he gets a look at all of his potential competitors. I mean, this is outrageous conduct by big business and
right,
Donald Trump.
right.
They are trying to screw the consumer. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, this is about corruption by the richest among us who are doing everything they can, really entity by entity, that limits the ability of the public to know what they're doing and frees them up to do what they want without accountability. And if you look at this, I mean, I want to give a bit of the TikTok of their story. They had a number of sources for this who were on the inside, who were familiar with what was going on. Bloomberg was also shown a number of emails and so forth. So they had the goods to be able to depict what actually happened. And Thursday, this is Thursday last week. They had gotten read-only access of limited documents. On Friday, they got access to all the data systems, including sensitive book examination and enforcement records. This was ordered by Russell Vought, who had just been confirmed as the Office of Management and Budget Director. This key guy in terms of Project 2025 and authoring a lot of these programs, who had
Wait,
been given.
Stephen, I thought that Project 2025 had nothing to do with
Oh
Donald
yeah,
Trump.
that's right.
He
That's
had
right.
nothing
And that's why, since he had nothing to do with it, that's also why Trump
amazing
decided
coincidence.
to make him the acting director of this Consumer Protection Board. That's Friday. By Saturday, Vought sent every employee to stop their supervision and examination activities within the bureau. And then by Sunday, they had basically shuttered the thing. They had limited the activities and limited the funding and suspended all activities. This is
This
this is
is
I think
this
the kind of a
is
sequence that we've sort of begun to see again and again.
Yeah, this is an agency that was created by Congress, the United States Congress, which is part of our system of separation of powers. Yet Trump and Musk, and nobody voted for Musk, have decided to shut it down.
Yeah,
They decided to just close the doors and to fire the people who work there or to whatever. I mean, fire the leadership for sure. And this is not the way a democracy works. This is a smash and grab tactic. And this is, you watch, you're going to see more abuse by banks and credit card companies. You're going to see more, you're going to see, because one of the things this agency does is protect us from unfair fees, late fees for credit cards and stuff like
right.
that. Has anyone who's watching this video ever been late on a credit card? Have they ever do they need protection of the government from being screwed over by private businesses on that? I think they do. And
Right.
and they need to understand what this agency does or did until it was destroyed by our fascist government now.
Look, I think we have to be prepared for what's coming. I mean, there with this and with others, there are these sort of temporary restraining orders. There are lawsuits. There are efforts being made to try to limit this behavior now, to at least sort of stop anything more of that until it's been adjudicated legally. But there's already all the signs that show that this bunch is prepared to ignore what the courts are saying to them, and when that happens, we're going to be in a dire situation. If this bunch is proving that they're so lawless that they think that they don't have to pay attention to what the courts are requiring of them. So I think
Yeah,
this is sort of part of the path in that direction, and I think we just need to be super aware about it.
right. As citizens in a threatened democracy, there is a limit to what we can do right now. But what we can do is speak out, call our members of Congress, express our outrage, and we need to stay loud and stay
Yeah.
proud of democracy and stop these criminals from doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and look, we might ask ourselves, how much some of the different government units sort of affect our lives. Well, this is something that affects everybody who uses a credit card. Everyone who's ever had a credit card that's at a high level, that maybe was sort of unfairly at a high level. There was before, at least there was a function within some of the banking enterprises that they were responsible for doing some of their own monitoring. Well, a lot of that now is non-existent because this bureau took it over. So we're in a really problematic gray zone right now.
Yeah, well, I guess we can't leave this on a cheery note, Stephen,
Yeah.
but we are leaving it on a serious one, and people need to be paying attention. And again, be loud. Now's the
Yeah.
time to be loud.
Yeah, this is the time, we've both been saying it. I mean, the need for urgency has been true for quite a while. I mean, I've been saying in other places it's important to think of this as a marathon, not a sprint. On the other hand, right now requires, I think, maximum attention and maximum urgency.
Yeah. Well, all right. See you next time, Stephen.
Thanks, Mark. See you then.